Welcome, everyone. I'm Amy Seeley, president of Seeley Test Pros and LEAP, helping students to succeed in all kinds of tests from grade 3 to grad school throughout Ohio.
And I'm Mike Bergen, president of Chariot Learning, helping students with Test School and Life based out of Rochester, New York.
Between the three of us today, we have over 79 years of experience at the highest levels of the test preparation and supplemental education industries.
We both love to talk and learn about the latest issues in education, testing, and admissions. So let's get down to tests and the rest. The fascinating test prep professional we want to profile today is Bobby Nicholson. We're so glad to be speaking with you, Bobby. How are you?
Doing great and thankful to be here.
So, Bobby, can you tell us a little bit about where you are and what you do?
I am in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I run Outliers ACT Prep. We do ACT Prep, an intensive 13-week program for students trying to achieve a 5-point increase or greater on the ACT.
So how did you get your start in test prep, and what did you do before prep?
Well, my background is quite a bit different than what most test prep professionals are.
You'd be surprised sometimes.
That's fair.
That's why we do these profiles.
It is a very eclectic background with some common themes, I think, against some of them. But yeah, I was actually one of the worst students ever when I was in high school. I never went to class. I had to retake Algebra 1 5 times when I was in high school. And I eventually dropped out of high school. I never finished school and tried to make it in the real world without having a high school diploma, and found that things were not going to go as I had hoped. So became uber motivated to do something with my life. I got my GED, enrolled in a community college, Pellissippi State, and was fortunate enough to have mentors take me under their wings and teach me how to be successful at school and life, and it worked. I did really well at Pellissippi. I graduated with a 3.84 GPA. I was the equivalent of the president of the student body while I was there. I made almost a perfect 100 in every math class that I took when I was there, and before transferring to Maryville College, where I got my degree, I made it on USA Today's All-Tennessee academic team. So how that transitioned to test prep is when I was at Maryville, my good friend Ransford Sarfo had started a nonprofit for at-risk youth. It was a mentorship program where we would recruit college students with at-risk backgrounds to go and do speaking at-risk high schools to share our story. And we would have the hopes of them joining our mentorship program, where these youth, these college students would mentor them, get them whatever they needed, tutoring, admissions advice, whatever, helping them schedule meetings, help with their FAFSA, whatever they needed during the process to not only get to college, but be set up to be successful once they were there. So we did that all the way through college, and after we graduated, we tried to find a way to make a living doing that. And the one thing we had that was monetizable, that was in line with our mission, was the tutoring. So I started doing that on the side to see if there was a demand, and I ended up filling up and started hiring other tutors. And that is how we got started 14 years ago.
I think he's right, Amy. I don't think we've heard
that's an interesting story.
Background quite like that
I agree.
in our industry.
I agree.
Yeah, that's great, Bobby. It's so interesting, just the path that you took. When you started training students or prepping students for the ACT, how did you prepare yourself to do that? And is there a reason why you chose ACT and not SAT, or both?
Yeah, so, the ACT question is easy because such a high percentage of our students already were ACT. He's
in that part of the country where ACT is preferred.
I mean,
Mike.
maybe it's no coincidence that ACT holds its national summit in Nashville.
Correct.
Yes.
Like that area.
Yeah. So, I mean, all the students here have to take the ACT anyways. It's a 100% ACT state. It's a requirement to graduate. So, that was a no-brainer. But I, funny enough, had this crazy summer job when I was in college where I would sell books door to door. And one of the things that,
Encyclopedias?
it was homework help books and software, and we
Okay.
sold ACT and SAT test prep software.
Interesting.
So to get started, I just used the ACT SAT prep software that we had. It was Kaplan, and realized very early on that it was not very good, and so started developing our own software quite early, or not software at the time. It was just our own lessons and methods and whatnot of prepping them for the ACT, and and then I hadn't taken the ACT really since I dropped out of high school, and so I decided I was going to go back and take it. I was still very low score as a 26. And so I was like, all right, it's time to learn this on my own. And so I just figured it out on my own, spend a crazy amount of time just taking practice tests, learning from what I had missed, and working through learning the grammar on the English and learning all the formulas on the math. And I hit a 36 super score on the ACT, and that was the foundation of everything that I put together that I needed to learn. We just put together lessons to start our own curriculum that way, and that's how it happened.
I love how you're sort of the own testament to test prep, right? This idea that we can prep ourselves, and that's how we get better scores. And from what you're sort of saying, at any level, right? At any level, which I think is great, that we are sometimes the products of our own prep with students, right?
Yes.
Now, how, Bobby, has your practice evolved, and how did you land on your specific guarantee, which is not common in our industry?
Yeah. So we started out doing all subjects, and then the first thing that actually changed was that we started a class, and the class we didn't do for the first time until 5 years in, but I modeled it off of the motivational stuff that I learned when I was selling books door to door with Southwestern. And that's so we used a team-based structure, and so the teams, right from our very first class, we had coaches that were leading the different teams, and the teams were competing against each other to win gift cards and different prizes throughout the week. And we made it so that students' stats, how many hours they worked, how many days they actually checked in and did prep, how they were doing on their quizzes that we would administer. Like, we already had this gamification set up. And so when we did that first class, and we achieved bigger increases from that first class than we ever had in one-on-one prep, that was the first time that I realized that we've got something really special here, and started to believe in the classroom setting, over the one-on-one. It's still very much a one-on-one program at that time, but then, we then realized that we could be the top in ACT prep. And, this was very ignorant at the time because I had no idea who actually was out there or anything else going on in the test prep world. I was just like, I knew that we were so much better than anything that I'd ever encountered. And so I was like, we're going to the top, baby. And, so then, one of the things we were teaching in test prep, in like the motivational aspect, was the importance of focus. And I was like, we're just spreading ourselves so thin, trying to do all the subjects and recruit and train tutors and all the subjects, and all the schools teach it differently. It's like a mess. I was like, we would do so much better. We can be great at this. Let's just put all of our efforts and energy into this one thing, And that's what we did. So we phased out, we stopped taking on the subject tutoring and just went all in on the ACT. And so that was a big evolution step there. And then, you know, we probably had two more big jumps. One was we decided to invest in software and to fully gamify what we had and to make all of the sats that were being recorded and all of the you know, coaching tools that we were using. We just wanted to have it all in one app. So we invested in you know, building an app, and that changed everything for us. So that was back in 2023 when we made the 2022 November was when we launched. But yeah, it was like right then, 2023. And yeah, that was a huge jump for us. And then, you know, that's also significantly accelerated the way that we've been able to modify the program. And we have fully modified the coaching the way we train coaches, the way we organize coaches within the program. So those are probably like our big evolutions since we started.
That's amazing. So tell us a bit more about what are some of your favorite things about being in test prep?
I would say it forces me to continue to try to achieve hard things in life, being that I'm always talking to students about doing just that. So it is almost like a hypocritical accountability system. It's like I can't be talking to them about it all the time and not continue to try to grow. And so I love that. And it's something I talk to my coaches about all the time, is like, you know, a great benefit of our program. And yeah, I would say that's very high up there. And then being able to use my background to make a difference, I think is a meaningful thing. It makes, you know, my life feel like it matters for something other than just me, and that it's actually making a difference. So that makes it, you know, more exciting to go to work each day. And you know, I mean, I'm 14 years in and I still love it, and I still, you know, am growing. And I'd say that's probably the last thing that I really love about it is it just allows me to use a lot of my intellectual curiosity and reading and learning to, you know, have an outlet to actually implement these changes in program to solve problems within in student situations. So really, yeah, enjoy the challenge.
Yeah, totally fair. I mean, we are steeped in an environment of learning and performance, and it can't help but influence us as practitioners. We are constantly having to rise to the occasion, especially when you're working with really motivated or bright students or challenging students that force you to reflect on certain challenges that you may encounter. That's all really good. Is there anything, Bobby, that you might not love about working in test prep?
Um, I I would say I did not love how long it took me to actually start making reasonable money. So yeah, if I would have known how long it would take me to start making, you know, a reasonable living wage, I don't know that I could have started it. Yeah, you know, I now love it, and it provides you know, a great life. But yeah, that was the hard part. And then I would say, you know, dealing with the parents is not my favorite thing. Yeah. So most parents, awesome. But the ones that aren't, you know, they can be, you know, I've lost plenty of nights of sleep over, you know, silly things that are going on with parents, over the years. So that's probably up there.
So we're going to give you the most important question. What is something most of your colleagues would be surprised to learn about you? Although I feel like you shared that earlier on, but now I want to hear what is the real surprise for us.
I have actually competed in the World Championships of foosball twice.
Wow.
So that is yeah, what most people would not guess about
So
foosball.
how did you do in the World Championships? You didn't say that you were a world champion in foosball.
No, and I will confess, both times it was at the lowest level that I was competing on. The first time I went, I was very upset. I thought I would do way better. But yeah, the second time we got fifth in the lowest tier. So
Yeah.
fifth in the lowest tier. And I was very happy with that. And that I put my hat up because of how much time I devoted those 2 years to foosball, which was very similar to what I expect of my students doing ACT prep, about 2 hours a day for those 2 years of training and practice. So yeah, after that, I was like, I did what I wanted to do. I feel good about it, and I'm gonna
And
put
that's
this
really
to
fun. Now,
bed.
Yeah.
give us a glimpse into the life of an athlete competing in the world championship of
Foosballer.
foosball. Where was it? What was it like? Was it just a really small thing? Did you feel at all like a celebrity?
I did not feel at
Did you
all
sign
like a
autographs?
celebrity. I
Do
would
you have a
say,
foosball fan club?
but I mean, within our Knoxville little foosball league, which we started many years ago, it felt awesome.
Yeah,
And that part is so fun, and it's so fun to travel with everybody that does foosball from here to
that's
go to
right.
Lexington, Kentucky
Yeah.
is where it was that year.
Ah,
And it is, yeah, really hilarious that you have literally every type of human that is there that you could imagine, and
Yeah.
and so that's fun. But I love foosball. I love anything that like gets me so crazy focused. That's part of the reason I love actually taking tests. Is just the insane focus that it brings to you. It's almost like a euphoric feeling. And when you're winning, it's even better. And when you get on, even better. And yeah, so all those things are part of it. And it was a very fun experience all around.
Fantastic. Bobby, this is great. We could probably talk about you all day. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
If listeners would like to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Easiest way is bobby@oaprep.com.
awesome. We hope you enjoyed this discussion as much as we did. Be sure to join us for another fascinating topic and guest on the next Tests and the Rest.
Did you enjoy this episode as much as we did? Find expanded links and more for this and all of our episodes at our show page at testsandtherest.com. While you're there, be sure to explore everything the larger TestBright site has to offer, including real, expert, unbiased answers to the toughest admissions testing questions. Of course, we'd love for you to rate, review, and subscribe to Tests and the Rest on your favorite podcast platform. If there's a topic or guest you'd like us to feature, just let us know and spread the word.